The great debate: should you put rocks at the bottom of your planter? In the world of gardening, few topics spark as much debate as the practice of placing rocks at the bottom of plant pots. While some gardeners swear by this method, believing it enhances drainage, others argue that it can be detrimental to plant health. To shed light on this contentious issue, we consulted Justin Hancock, a horticulturist at Costa Farms, to clarify whether adding rocks to the base of pots is beneficial or a gardening myth. The origins of the debate. The idea behind putting rocks at the bottom of a planter is rooted in the belief that they create a drainage layer, preventing water from saturating the potting soil and leading to root rot. This practice has been passed down through generations of gardeners, often accompanied by the notion that rocks can help manage excess water by allowing it to pool underneath the soil. However, as Hancock explains, a layer of rocks at the bottom of the pot isn't as helpful as a lot of people think it is, and it can actually impede drainage a bit. The science behind drainage. Hancock elaborates on the mechanics of drainage and the misconceptions surrounding the use of rocks. He points out that adding a layer of rocks effectively reduces the depth of the soil layer, which can hinder proper drainage. When you create a barrier of rocks, you're not allowing water to flow freely through the soil, he notes. Instead, you make your soil shallower, which slows drainage when really you should aim for a taller layer of soil to promote natural drainage. Furthermore, Hancock highlights an important aspect of potting mixes. Most potting soils are composed of fine particles that, when compacted together, can act like a sponge. These fine particles will filter down between the rocks and pull any sitting water up to the plant roots, he explains. This means that instead of preventing water from reaching the roots, a layer of rocks can actually encourage the opposite effect, potentially leading to root rot. Best practices for plant drainage. So, what should you do instead of adding rocks to the bottom of your planter? Hancock advises that it's unnecessary to include any fillers like rocks at the bottom of your pots. Filling it with potting mix is all you need for most potted plants, he states. Just make sure the pot is large enough and the soil layer is tall enough. To ensure that your plants have adequate drainage, the most critical factor is to check for drainage holes at the bottom of your pot. These holes allow excess water to escape, helping to keep the roots somewhat dry. If your pot lacks a drainage hole, Hancock suggests using a power drill to create one or simply repotting your plant into a container that has a drainage hole. Another option is to use two pots stacked, one with a hole inside of one without, allowing for proper drainage while maintaining the aesthetic of your plant display. Alternatives to rocks. If you're considering using rocks to prevent soil from spilling out of the bottom of your pot, or to keep insects from crawling in, Hancock recommends a different approach. Instead of rocks, you can place a screen, netting, or even a coffee filter at the base of the pot. These materials can effectively block soil, while allowing excess water to drain freely. For those who simply love the aesthetic of rocks in their plant displays, Hancock offers a compromise. If you just really love rocks, you can place a layer of small ones on top of your potting mix, he suggests. This can actually provide additional benefits, such as helping to prevent fungus gnats from breeding in the soil. In the end, the debate over whether to put rocks at the bottom of a planter appears to favor the idea that they are more of a hindrance than a help. With the advice of horticulturist Justin Hancock, it's clear that proper drainage practices, such as using pots with drainage holes and filling them with adequate potting mix, are the keys to happy and healthy plants. By understanding the science of drainage and adopting the best practices for potting, you can ensure that your plant babies thrive without the need for rocks at the bottom of their homes. So, the next time you're tempted to layer rocks in your pots, remember that good soil and proper drainage are all you really need to create a flourishing indoor garden.